Hi, ladies. Hello. How are you? Good morning, afternoon, evening. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the second installment of our Real Talk series on fear. I've got some music playing on my phone. I don't know if it's going to sound like crap to you guys or if it's going to sound really good. It's hard to say. Maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't. But I'm so happy to be here with you all this morning to get real about what it is like to face our fear of putting ourselves out there. Hi, Dina. Good morning. Hello, sister. If you are just tuning in now, I'd love for you to type into the comments. Hi, let us know where you are watching from. Where are you dialing in from today? Tell me, are you in Europe? Are you in America? So just put a quick comment. Hi, Jess. Oh, thank you, Dina. You know, I tried a different technique today with my hair, and it totally worked. I'll tell you the secret later. So thank you, sister. I appreciate it. So hi, everyone. If you're just coming on, I'm excited to talk to you today about the fear that we have of being seen and putting ourselves out there. This is the second installment on our Real Talk series about overcoming fear. So if you're just tuning in now, go ahead and put in the comments on the side. Say hi, give me some hearts and likes just to let me know that you're watching. And put in the comments where you're watching from. I love to see our global audience. So put that over on the side, and we'll wait a couple of more minutes to see who else starts to come up. And the intention of our time today in this series is to talk about fear in a real open, honest, and authentic way about the stuff that's keeping us stuck up in our head, stuck behind our computers, doing the Netflix and wine thing on our couch, and not getting us out there and building our business and doing the things that we know we need to be doing. So if you're just tuning in, please put in the comments. Let us know that you're watching. Just say where you're watching from. I'd love to see where you are tuning in from. So our time today is going to be spent talking about our fear of being seen and putting ourselves out there. I think I'm gonna turn this music off because it's kind of distracting me. So the intention of our time today is to talk about the fear of being seen, which I know is a big issue for a lot of us. And it has been an issue for me in my life too. And we're going to talk today about what we're afraid of putting ourselves out there about. We're also going to dive into where this fear really comes from. And then I'm going to share a counterintuitive way that you can actually get over your fear of being seen. And then at the end, I also have something really special that I want to announce just for all of you who are tuning in today. Dina's from Manchester. Janine, Sarah, hi, from Cheltenham, UK. So we have a couple of British women with us today. Hello, ladies from across the pond. So for those of you who are just tuning in, maybe you are new to Worthy Women, maybe you're not, but my name is Jess Geist, and I'm the founder of Worthy Women and the creator of the program called Worth to Wealth, which is a program to help women get over their fears, stop sabotaging themselves, and make more money in their business. So I have been a rapid transformational coach for over 5 years, and I have built my own business up over the past 3.5 years. I think that actually this April might be my 4th year in business. So I finally started getting to the around $250,000 mark over the last 1.5 to 2 years in my business. And I have been through it all, from going totally broke to launching products and having them fail to having, $50,000 months. I've been up, I've been down, I've been all around. So I know the path that you're walking, especially for those of you who are just getting started. And this is my mission. My mission is to help women to own their worth and earn their wealth. And the way that we do that is by getting real about what it's actually like to build a business. And that's what these Real Talk series are all about. They're an opportunity for you to come in to have an honest and open conversation about the stuff that's been holding you back, the things that you really don't want other people to see or know about your entrepreneurial journey. Because if you can't get real about what you're actually experiencing when you're stuck behind your desk at a computer all day, because trust me, I know that's what's going on, then you're gonna just continue to sit and fester in the beliefs and the thoughts that are keeping you stuck. So I want you to bring them out, get them out there so that we can get them handled. And that's what the Real Talk series is all about. And one of the things that I've heard from the community over and over again is that we all have fear, right? Who here has fear about something? We are all holding on to some kind of fear. And one of the biggest fears that I hear us talking about, we talked about last week, was making mistakes. And another one that we're talking about today is the fear of being seen. Another way that I hear this kind of come up is the fear of putting yourself out there. This is really the experience that I have too, of when I want to do something, or I have a dream or a vision of creating something, and instead of allowing myself to become visible, allowing my voice to be heard, allowing my face to be seen, or my presence to be felt, I hide. And that hiding actually continues to make, like, it becomes this like weird cyclical self-fulfilling prophecy, because the more that we hide from our fear of being seen, the less we're seen, which means the more of a negative impact that it ends up having on our business and our self-esteem and our confidence and our sense of worthiness. So I wanted to blow this one up today, get the space out there for you guys to talk about, what are you afraid of being seen around? So that's my first question. Oh, Tracy says, oh yes, sister. Oh yes. So I'd love to know now, if you're tuning in, I want to know from you now, just go ahead and put in the chat, what are you afraid of being seen around right now? Or what are you afraid of putting yourself out there? What is it that you want to put out that you're afraid to do? I know that all of us have something that you want to share with the world right now, something that you want to show the world right now, but you're really afraid of being seen around it. So what's the thing that you want people to see or to know about in you, but you're afraid of being seen around? So go ahead and put that in the chat so we can start to get a sense for what's present here from the people who are watching. Oh, thanks, Suze. I appreciate that, sweetie. The fear of being seen is such a block for you, says Dina. I know it holds me back. Yeah, of course it holds us back. It holds us back in all kinds of ways. So what are you guys afraid of putting out there right now? What's the thing that you're like, oh, I really want to talk about, I really want to do, but I'm afraid to do it because I'm afraid of being seen? I know I did a poll in the event for the group, and one of the things that came back in that poll is that most people are afraid of getting on stage and speaking on stages. Anybody here have a fear about being on stage and speaking on stage? If you do, give me a like, give me a heart, give me a thumbs up to let me know that that's you if you're watching. And other people said that they had a fear of going to events and attending events. So Janine says, I know I can make a difference in people's lives, but still feel a fraud as I don't have my ducks in a row myself. I love that. Hold on for a second. I want to come back to that. And Sue says, I'm afraid to launch this new product that people will think I'm unqualified. Mostly that's my biggest fear, that I'm unworthy or unqualified, unprepared, will get made fun of. Oh yeah. Nancy says, being seen as an expert. She's afraid of being seen as an expert. Anybody resonate with some of the things that are coming up? Who is afraid of feeling as if they put themselves out stage for you, says Dina. Great. Yeah. And another thing that a lot of us are afraid, so those are kind of the top three: getting on stage, speaking and going to events and networking. And then the third thing that I hear oftentimes is a fear of putting out some sort of product, service, or offer, having that come back and just not wanting to be seen around that invitation. So we're hearing stage, being seen as an expert. I want to know, who has this fear of feeling as though they're a fraud and as though they're going to be found out if they put themselves out there? I feel like that's a big thing that Mavi says. Hi, Mavi. Sometimes I'm afraid that nobody will listen to what I say. And Sue says, yes, feeling like an expert. Who am I to be the leader or to be questioned? Yeah, there's this sense that, who am I? This feeling of being a fraud and getting found out. If you can resonate with that, please give me a like, give me a thumbs up, give me a heart. Are you afraid that if you put yourself out there, that somehow you're going to be discovered to be something that you're really not. Is that the thing that's holding you back? Are you having this fear of being a fraud and being found out? And if you do, if you have a fear of being seen and then being found out as a non-expert, as unqualified or unprepared, what are you afraid will happen next? What happens if you believe, this is all belief, right? If you believe that somebody thinks that you're unqualified, that you're going to get found out, you're going to be discovered as a fake, as a phony, as not real, what do you think will happen next? Go ahead and put that in the chat right now. A lot of this resonates. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you, sister. Yeah, tell me, what are you afraid will happen if people think that you're a fraud? I know that for me, I had this fear of being a fraud all of the time, especially when I started my business. I have it a little less now. I do have this thing of, why would people listen to me though? So when Mavi said that really clicked with me. Well, why me? Not that I'm a fraud. I believe in what I have to say and what I do, but why would you want to listen to me, work with me, pay attention to what I have to say, watch what I do, read what I write, if you know, I'm not really that important? It's a sense of not feeling significant, I think, that I hear behind that one. Well, I'm not meaningful enough. I'm not significant enough. I'm not insert thing here enough. And that's the reason why I won't put myself out there. Tracy says that she agrees with you, Nancy. I'm scared of being called out and thinking people will think I'm rubbish and have nothing of value to say. Oh gosh, you guys, like, I really feel you around this. It feels so scary to put yourself out there when you think that people are going to judge you. Is that what I'm hearing? Give me a like or a thumbs up if that's what you're afraid of. Are you afraid of being judged? Are you afraid that other people are going to say things about you or think things about you that are unkind or untruthful or unfair? Is that the fear that you're carrying? Give me a bad name, so I won't help so much. I don't want to let them down. Yeah, disappointing people. Absolutely. Hi, Dia. Good to see you, sister. Thanks for picking up this topic. You're currently working on this. I've always felt people will find out I'm a fake. Yeah, Sue says, why me? Looking for external validation because you feel insecure and scared. How can I get people to trust and feel powerful in their business if I don't feel that way about myself? See, this is the thing that I hear my clients come up against all the time. There's a sense in the services industry when we're consultants or healers, sometimes we feel as though, how can I help other people if I am still struggling with my own issues? That means that if I'm not right, if I'm not good, then I must be wrong or bad, and therefore I'm not in a position where I should be helping other people. And I definitely don't have the right to make myself seen if I'm not good enough. So you can see this cyclical pattern that comes up, right? Dia says, but through RTT, I've currently been changing this belief. Well, you know, the power of RTT is incredible because these beliefs live in our subconscious mind. The belief that we have is all of this fear about putting ourselves out there and being a fraud and a fake comes down to the belief that we are not worthy and that we're not good enough. I know that I sound like a broken record in this, but when you don't feel as though you are worthy or lovable or good enough, when you believe that you're different, then it's really difficult to put yourself out there and to do the things that you need to do in order to get business. And not only that, but I know for me, what happens is that when I'm in that space of feeling like, oh my God, I'm so not like worthy of being seen or heard or felt, I have a tendency to show up inauthentically when I do present myself because I'm trying to prove myself to other people. Does anybody do that? When you have this fear of being seen and you do choose to show up, there's this sense of, I need to prove that I'm worthy of being here. I need to prove that I'm worthy of being heard, of being seen, of being in this space and in this conversation. If that's you, give me a heart or give me a like and thumbs up. Let me know. Do you have the sense of needing to prove that you're good enough and that you're worthy of being seen, to get that approval from the people around you, that external validation, as Suze said? I don't mind getting on stage, says Sarah, but at least the thought of it is okay. Yeah, sometimes we can have a thinking about something, we're like, oh, that doesn't seem so scary, but then when we go to do it, it's a totally different thing. I want to tell you guys a story about one of my clients in Worth to Wealth. Her name is Leanne, and Dina and Nancy, who are watching now, know about Leanne because we're all in the same group together. So Leanne actually had a really big fear of being seen, and this actually came from childhood, and that's where most of this comes from for us. At some point when you were just a little girl, you had an opportunity to be seen, and in some way, something happened that made you feel as though it wasn't okay for you to be visible, that being seen meant that you could get hurt, that you could be rejected, that you weren't going to be lovable. And so Leanne had this experience, and for a lot of the kids, or a lot of the women that I work with, they have this wounding as a kid, sometime in school. That story about, I got up in front of the classroom to say something and I went blank, or I got up in front of the classroom, the teacher scolded me and told me I was wrong or not good enough. So these stories, these experiences, they stay with us into adulthood. And so now when you're at the point in your business where you're trying to put yourself out there, this old stuff, this old trauma gets brought back up for you to look at, which is why I always say that being an entrepreneur is the most self-effacing thing that you can ever do. So Leanne had this story from her childhood, and she was desperately afraid of putting herself out there, doing one of our yes moves. In the Worth to Wealth program, every week you're given an assignment, an action assignment that moves you through your fear and that helps you build your business. And last week was the Facebook Live move. You have to go out and do a public Facebook Live on your business page or from your personal page. And she was terrified to do this, just absolutely shaken in her boots about it. She did not want to be seen. She did not want to get on camera. She was saying the same things that you guys are saying. Why me? I'm terrified. What if nobody watches? She was really afraid of freezing up. Well, guess what? She got on camera. She pushed through the fear. As part of the assignment, she knew she had to do it. She was being held accountable by us in the group. We were sending her lots of love and encouragement. We helped her move through some of the fear, and she did it. And as soon as she did it, her live was a total of 5 minutes long. Within 15 minutes, she had 3 different opportunities. One speaking opportunity, she was invited to be on a podcast, and she got a coaching inquiry. And then she decided, because she was so thrilled with the results and so proud of herself for coming through the other side, to do a mini challenge with some of the other women in the group to do 5 days of Facebook Live. And actually, just yesterday was her 5th live, and she shared what her journey was like moving through her fear of being seen. And she talked about how the nerves were there, especially in the beginning, but after she did it repeatedly, it started to become easier and easier and easier. And the results were absolutely phenomenal for her. She got speaking opportunities. She got the opportunity to join really exciting groups and become part of communities. She built new relationships, reconnected with old friends. She got 3 different client leads. She's been offered, I think, an opportunity to be an interview on a podcast. And even one of her favorite podcasters turned into her last live feed. And now she's hopefully working on having a conversation about doing something with her on her podcast. So that fear of being seen is so edgy. And I wanted to share the story of Leanne with you because she was just like what you guys are saying. She was in the same exact boat, feeling that she was going to be a fraud, feeling as though she wasn't worthy, feeling as though she was going to make a mistake or do something that would be embarrassing or shameful publicly. But when she put herself out there, even though it was just a few minutes the first time, she was able to move through that fear. So that's one of the things that's the antidote to this problem of putting yourself out there. Truly, really, the only way. I'm seeing lots of hearts and likes go by. Lots of love for Leanne. Leanne, if you tune in later, you're watching now. Girl, you got lots of love and respect from this tribe right now. Sue says, yes, foot and mouth, acting out of character. So the story of Leanne is one that I've seen over and over again through Worth to Wealth. We've had many women do this. And this is also what we did in the Yes Games, helping you get out there and put yourself on camera and be seen. Sorry, guys, my dog is playing with his dog toy. Leo the distractor. Yes, you. I'm talking to you. You my baby. When I did my first Facebook Live, I was freaking terrified. But there is a way to overcome this fear. Yes, action, just feeling the fear and doing it anyway. But the real thing there is like, oh, well, if I feel the fear, well, how do I get myself past that feeling of being trapped in that to the do it anyway part, right? Leo is squeaking with love. Yes, that is Leo. He is always around, guys. My toddler, my child. So here's something that I embraced myself when I was getting over my fear of being seen, and it's really counterintuitive. So we know now that our biggest fears about being seen are feeling like a fraud, like a fake or a phony, being judged by other people, and ultimately being rejected because we're not good enough. And we know that that fear comes from a sense of not being worthy, a sense of not being lovable or good enough. But what do you do to overcome this? I have a counterintuitive solution that is probably going to be a little off the beaten path based on what you might think, but it works. Who here has read or watched any of Brené Brown's work? Give me a heart or type in the comments yes if you know about Brené Brown and you've read her books or watched any of her talks. So give me some hearts, give me some likes if you're a Brené fan and you like her stuff. Awesome. So if I'm seeing lots of hearts, lots of likes. Okay, so we've got a lot of Brené ladies here. Yes, I love her, says Suze. Yes, says Dina. Me. Yeah, she is amazing. Well, the thing that Brené talks about in her books is shame and vulnerability. She sort of does a juxtaposition around these two things. She has been one of the foremost researchers on shame. And she says that when you are feeling shame, the way to heal that feeling is through vulnerability. And so what we're talking about when we have this fear of putting ourselves out there is this belief that we're not worthy of being seen, which is really comes from this deeper feeling that we're bad. And shame is the belief, or shame is the experience of feeling as though you are bad. Guilt is the experiences of feeling as though you've done something bad. So guilt is I did something bad and I have to make amends. And then shame is I am bad and I need to be forgiven, or I need to forgive myself. Well, one of the things that works really well to help us move through this fear of being seen is to be vulnerable. And I know that that sounds really counterintuitive, but part of the reason why I experienced in my own life and business and why I was afraid to put myself out there is because I felt I had to be perfect. I felt as though everyone was watching me and wanted me to be something or do something. Does anybody else resonate with that? So that I couldn't put myself out there and be totally authentically real. I had to be a certain way. I had to deliver the message the right way. I had to have the right idea. I had to present things in the perfect format or else ... Yeah, there's this feeling of like, I got to do it right. And in actuality, if you just do if you get out there and you make yourself seen around your vulnerability and you lead with the vulnerable edge, then you can start to see that, wow, if my vulnerability is accepted and received, then I can truly do anything. So when I did my first Facebook Live ever, it was part of a 21-day Facebook Live challenge that my friend and business coach and mentor Marisa Murgatroyd hosted. And I was terrified. I was so scared. And by the way, this was about 9 months ago. I was so freaking scared. And I decided, you know what? The reason why I'm scared is because I've been hiding and I didn't want people to see me. So I decided to do my first live on my hiding. I decided to come out of the closet and talk about why I was hiding and make the whole live about feeling nervous about being on camera and having a lot of anxiety and apprehension about being seen. And the conversation I got on, I was shaking, I was nervous. I didn't really even plan it out. I didn't know what to say, but I just started talking about this. And it was amazing because all of these people began to show up on the live and were not only giving me an outpouring of love and support, but also telling me how happy they were to see me and that they had the same feelings themselves. So when you lead with your own vulnerability and your own authenticity, then it makes it a lot easier for you to be seen. If you show up, let's say that it's the first time you've ever talked about your program publicly and you want to do an announcement post about it, or you're sending a note to your email list or, on your public Facebook page or whatever, and you want to do a live. Sorry, I got something in my eye. Then, oh gosh, this really hurts. Then what you're going to do is instead of just writing this announcement post and trying to make it perfect, or instead of, doing your live and trying to make it perfect, you actually get on your live and you say, hi, or do your post and be like, I'm so excited, but I'm also really nervous because this is the first time that I've ever done this before. This is the first time that I've ever announced something that I've done publicly, or the first time that I've shared this with a group of people. And I'm a little nervous because I'm worried that people will judge me or think that I'm not good enough. But I believe in my product and my service, which is why I'm putting myself out there anyway. So I really appreciate you listening today or reading this today because it means a lot to me. So this is the way that you can lead with your vulnerability in these conversations instead of trying to get up there and fake it in front of your audiences. People can tell when you're faking it. Can't you tell? So if you are open and real about this fear and you just name it and get it past you, then people will be like, okay, cool. Like that was really awesome. She was honest. She was open about that. Now I can listen. Now she's a real person. I hear her. I feel her. Yeah. Dina says 21 days, hell's teeth. Yeah, woof, just thinking about this doing a Facebook Live is like giving me chills. This is giving me chills, says Suze. Yeah, it is edgy. But if you were to put a Facebook Live out there and be like, hey, listen, I'm really excited because I have something that's unique to offer, but I'm nervous because I've never offered it publicly before. I never talked about this publicly before. And I'm afraid that I'm going to say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, but I really care about this. And I'm just going to take the plunge and do it anyway. And I appreciate your love and support. And if you know anybody that's interested in this, please go ahead and send this along, right? Authenticity, says Suze. Yeah, authenticity is everything. I totally agree, sister. You got to be real. It's that faking it that really screws us up. There's some other things that I do to help myself move through the fear of being seen. And one thing that I do is to start with people that I feel comfortable with, start by sharing in a closer circle, and then begin expanding out. So let's say that you have a new program that you want to offer and you've never done it before. The first thing that you can do is start by talking to your family members and your close friends and begin there and getting your feet wet. And then slowly but surely, you can expand your conversations out to people that you have less deep connections with. So that's one way that you can also start to test the waters into practice is by begin with the people that you feel safe with. Even if you're calling up your mom or telling your husband or talking to your best friend to say, hey, I'm really excited. I want to share this with you, just to get over the experience of speaking it out loud. Now, when it comes to the fear of public speaking, which is what a lot of us are talking about, like the fear of getting on stages, I really like to start by recording myself on camera privately in my own home. And it's a great hack for you to get used to speaking and then watching yourself back. And you can learn and you can practice that way. It gives you a way to get some of those jitters out rather than having to go right out into a massive audience. Another thing that you can do to overcome that fear of being seen in public and speaking on stages is to start small. So one thing that you might do is begin by going and hosting a workshop at like a local meetup, for example, or doing a talk with a small group of people, maybe 10 people, so that you get used to being seen in a smaller group. And then work your way out. When I started my business, I began doing these weekly meetups called Wine and Grinds. They were essentially a one workshop that I would host every week, and I did it for about 5 months. And for every week we hosted a wine and grind, and I would have people come over to my house. And we would come over, I'd have them come over to my house, we would serve a bunch of wine, have some snacks, and then I would lead a talk on something related to business, like defining your ideal client, coming up with your perfect pitch, creating your killer bio, designing your signature experience. And so we'd have these conversations in a smaller group in the comfort of my own home, which gave me a feeling of safety because I was in an environment that made me feel safe and comfortable. And also it felt intimate and relaxed. I didn't feel like I had to be a perfect presenter in that environment. So if you have a business, if you're a coach and you have a coaching business and you want to talk about how, like, some tips around overcoming anxiety or improving your performance in your career or at work, maybe start by hosting a little gathering at your own home and talking with your friends or acquaintances and having them invite friends and make it intimate, or doing the same thing over Zoom with a group of people and making it a casual conversation where you lead and guide and facilitate. So there's a lot of different ways that you can begin to move through this fear by just dipping your toe in the water and breaking the ice. One of the reasons why we created the Yes Games and why we do this in Worth to Wealth is because, why we do Facebook Live in those environments is because I want you to get over that fear of being seen, and I want you to immerse yourself in it. But if you don't actually put yourself into action, then it's always going to be something that's out here in front of you and never something that you truly embody. Once you embody it, once you get out there, once you put yourself on stage, once you get behind the camera, once you present your offer, then everything starts to become easier and easier. So give yourself the space and the grace the first time to be vulnerable, lead with the vulnerability, and not try to hide or fake it. And then after that, continue to test that and push the muscle and refine and refine and refine. Oh, Sue says, I miss Wine and Grinds. Those were so great. Amazing content and people. Oh, yeah, those Wine and Grinds were amazing. I loved those experiences. I'm a big community builder. That's one of the ways that I have come over my fear about being in public and speaking, is that I build my own communities with people that I love, and then we get to have conversations. I know a lot of people want to be big, famous public speakers and travel around the world and be on stages. I have that desire too. And also, when you have Facebook Live and you have your own tribe, you get to talk to hundreds of people or thousands of people from the comfort of your own living room. So the need for a podium and a stage isn't really as pressing as it used to be in order to reach your ideal client and to talk to the people that you really want to serve. So that's why I'm a big, big fan of Facebook Live, because over and over and over again, every time you do it, every time my clients do it, not only do they have a massive increase in confidence and self-esteem, but they also get results by getting clients, getting more speaking opportunities, media opportunities. So it's a huge win-win if you're looking to push your edge around being seen. I want to know what works for you guys now. So tell me, what have you done, or what are some practices that you've been in your business or in your life that have been working for you to get through your fear of being seen? Like Dia, I know that you said that you've been doing something. What is it? Tell us what you've been up to. And as we space and grace to be vulnerable, says Suze. Oh, thank you, sister. I'm glad that resonates with you. So one of the things that we talk about all the time in Worth to Wealth is that we have these deeply ingrained subconscious beliefs. And one of the reasons why it's difficult to move through our fear of being seen is that we're trying to white knuckle our way through that fear by engaging our conscious thinking mind, our analytical mind. And the reality is that your analytical mind, your conscious mind, only has so much reserve to create that energy for the push through the fear. And did you know actually that every day you wake up, you have a finite amount of self-control? Self-control is kind of like water in a tank. When you wake up in the morning, you are full, but by the end of the day, your self-control actually becomes depleted. Did you know that? So if you are not resting and repairing, then by the end of the day, you typically have less energy to move through the things that are scary or are bringing up fear, which is one of the reasons why they say to do the most difficult tasks first in the morning in the business that you run, because you have more self-control and you have a little bit more of that energy for the push. But ultimately, you can't white knuckle your way through building a business. You can't consistently try to push your way and effort your way through every single fear. It's much easier if your subconscious mind is actually on board with your conscious desires. And that comes through the process of learning how do you access your deep subconscious beliefs and then reprogram them to overcome your fear. I have a client that I worked with who is actually, he's Italian. English is not his first language. And he has become a massive innovator in the media space. He is now actually the head of research and development and innovation at the Wall Street Journal. He just got that job 2 weeks ago. And so I've been coaching with him on and off for about 2 years, helping him improve his performance, do deep inner work so that he could rise and rise and rise. I helped him launch his book. He teaches at universities now as a result of our work together. So this guy is like a major, I guess like high performer. And one of the things that he came to me about was that he had a fear of public speaking, but he knows that he wants to be an influencer and be on stages. So I asked him what he had done to overcome this fear in the past. He's like, well, I just keep getting up on stage over and over and over again. But every time I'm sweating bullets, my throat is dry. I always blank at least once or stumble at least once in my presentation. And it's really getting in my head. So we decided to do a rapid transformational therapy session around public speaking and his fear of public speaking. And we regressed back to scenes in his life where he picked up this fear. And not surprisingly, there came a scene of him being in the classroom in front of a teacher and being reprimanded for something after he'd spoken in front of the group. And ever since then, he had this fear of speaking in public. After we did an RTT session and he listened to his recording for 21 days, he completely eliminated that fear. And now he's on stage. He can't wait to get on stage. He doesn't have any hesitation. He doesn't sweat bullets or stumble or have dry mouth or forget his words anymore. It's completely gone. And the reason for this is because he got his subconscious mind on board with his conscious desires. Before, the two were at odds. They were fighting each other and pushing against each other. This is what happens when you're in fear in your own business. You are fighting against yourself. That's the experience of self-sabotage. We try to white knuckle our way through the fear of being seen, but it's ineffective because your big old subconscious brain is just waiting for you to deplete those reserves of self-control so that the old patterns and old beliefs can take back over again. This is why in Work to Wealth, we combine rapid transformational therapy coaching and business mentorship. The rapid transformational therapy goes in and it actually reprograms your subconscious mind so that you can move through your fear and actually not even feel it at all. Or if you do, there's these overriding thoughts that come forward that actually are more aligned with your truth than those fear-based thoughts, which are thoughts that your little girl is still carrying from back in the day when she was 1, 2, 7 years old. And then the conscious work that we do is designed to help you build the tools and to create new frames and seeing of the world to integrate those new beliefs into action. And then the business mentorship is obviously there to give you the skills and the support that you need in order to take action, the real training, the how-to that everybody wants in business. So when you combine all three of these things, you can move through your fear. But the problem is for most of us, at least for me, when I was building my business, I tried to figure it out all by myself in the beginning. Everything that I was doing, I was trying to do myself because hiring a private coach was far too much. And I couldn't find a group environment that would give me all of the things that I was looking for. So I was trying to white knuckle my way through building my business. And actually it caused me to go broke. I had an experience where I launched a program called the Transformational Sales Accelerator, which was actually kind of like the original version of Worth to Wealth, over 2.5 years ago. And I was terrified of putting my program out there. I was so scared of it. And my fear actually ended up meaning that I didn't tell people about it. And I just sort of put it out there passively in some Facebook posts and then cried in my bed when nobody wanted to buy it, because I wasn't really openly and honestly talking about my program and my love for it, because I had this deep fear that I wasn't enough, that the program wasn't good enough, and that people would never want to buy from me, even though I have over 15 years of sales and marketing experience in my life and in my business. So I was thinking all of the same things that you're thinking too. It was really awful. And it resulted in me getting my bank account down to $1,000. So this fear of being seen thing, this fear of putting yourself out there thing, it's not a joke. It's not something that we can just hope goes away. You got to take care of it, and you got to take care of it now. That's your opportunity, is to be vulnerable and to be real with yourself about how this fear is really impacting you. So I want to know from you right now, if you're watching, how is this fear of not being seen, impacting your business? Go ahead and put it in the comments now. Tell me, let's be honest with each other. Like, is it impacting your financial situation? Is it impacting, are you not putting yourself out there for speaking opportunities? I know for me, I've had tons of speaking opportunities come my way when I was starting my business, especially. And people would literally be like, hey, Jess, you would be perfect for this. Sue's actually, who's watching, is one of those people. And I wouldn't fill out the applications because I had a story of like, why me? Like, I don't deserve to be on stage. Why would anyone listen to me? And if I speak and I talk and I make a fool of myself, then I'm just going to have this crazy self-fulfilling prophecy of me being sucky and shitty. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to risk being hurt and being seen. No fucking way. And I passed up some really amazing speaking opportunities because of that could have grown my business. So now whenever I get an opportunity to speak or I see something, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to throw my hat in the ring. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I'll figure it out. I have something to say. Actually, this past summer, I did one of my first bigger speaking opportunities. I was part of a virtual summit with my friends, Carrie and Demir, who run an amazing program called Life Hack Bootcamp. I'm going to be introducing you to those guys soon. But they did a summit on overwhelm. And I gave a talk on unwinding overwhelm. And as part of that talk, I shared a few tips for unwinding overwhelm, a process that I came up with. And I offered a private 30-minute coaching session as well as a free rapid transformational recording to anyone who participated in the summit. That talk was 45 minutes long, and it completely changed my business. I got over 55 people who signed up for a private coaching session with me. Of those 55 people, almost 40 of them signed up for private rapid transformational therapy sessions with me. Almost everyone downloaded my rapid transformational recording, and many of those people have turned out to be long-term clients of mine and have become repeat clients of mine. So when you can move through that fear of being seen, there's so much gold on the other side of it. But it's about being vulnerable with yourself. It's about being real. It's about talking, about being honest and be like, wow, I'm really nervous. And I told my friend Demir before we started the session, I was like, Demir, I'm a little nervous. I'm nervous about being here. I'm nervous about doing this and saying the wrong thing or doing the wrong thing. And he said, don't worry, I've got you. You're going to be amazing. Let's just go be yourself. And that was the best advice that anyone ever gave me. And that's the advice that I have for you too. Annabella. Hi, sister. Annabella overcame her fear of being seen on doing her Facebook Live in our Worth to Wealth group as well. So I'm so happy, Annabella, that you're here. I'd love for you to put in the comments how that was for you, overcoming your fear of being seen. So we've been on for about 45 minutes now, and I'm so happy that you guys have joined us. And I want to share a special opportunity with you in the spirit of being seen. I have something really exciting that I want to share with all of you today. So our next round of Worth to Wealth is officially open for enrollment. That's right. If you've been a member of our community for any period of time, you may have heard about my experience called Worth to Wealth. And this program has been a absolute joy for me to build. And the results that I'm seeing for the women who are currently enrolled are out of this world. I know that in Worthy Women, the thing that we tend to focus on is our inner game. And we talk about that in Worth to Wealth as well. But we also get into the nitty-gritty things that you need to do in order to build a business and get clients. Because look, you can overcome your fear all day, but if you don't have the practical and tactical skills and tools that you need in order to get clients, it doesn't really make that much of a difference. What I found when I was building my business is that I needed a combination of things. I needed someone to tell me exactly what I should be focusing on and how I should be focusing on it. What to do first, second, third, so that I could cut through all of the clutter and the crap and stop feeling overwhelmed by all of the possibilities out there when it comes to getting my clients and building my business. And then on the other side of that, I also needed someone to help me move through the blocks that were coming up when I decided to take action in my business. It's not one or the other, it's definitely both. And in Worth to Wealth, that's what we do. We start by helping you claim your worthiness, own your power, help you believe that you are worthy, that you're not a fake, that you're not a fraud, that it's okay for you to be seen. And in fact, the world is waiting for you to be seen. And then not only to believe that, but to feel that and to begin taking action in all of that. And then we also reprogram your relationship with abundance and scarcity and money and actually hardwire your mind for success, to take fearless action every single day in your life and in your business. And while we're doing that, we're simultaneously teaching you how to build your business from the ground up. We cover all kinds of things that are basically the nuts and the bolts, the foundation of building a business, from defining your ideal client and creating your pitch, to building your signature experience and pricing that, to creating your own group and community. And then we do something called the money game, which is a 2-week competition to actually get you out and start getting clients. It's a really fun thing. And we're actually just kicking that off next week in the group. Plus, you learn how to sell. How do you actually lead enrollment conversations that turn someone from a prospect into a client? So you get this roadmap for building your business. And you also get the support that you need to overcome the limiting beliefs that are holding you back from taking action on those practical and tactical pieces of advice. Because if you're out there building a business right now, you've seen those courses that tell you 15 steps to get clients, or the 6-figure system for blah, blah, blah. And they're teaching you these marketing strategies and tactics. But the problem is that you're, in the meantime, sitting behind this fear of being seen, and it scares the crap out of you. Annabella says, I'll have to catch up with this later, but I was lucky enough to be in the hot seat for some coaching with Jess during our weekly coaching session last night. Yeah, so we do a hot seat every other week in Worth to Wealth, where you can submit your name to get a private coaching session with me, and the group actually participates and watches and then gives you feedback. So if you have a specific issue, you get to get it worked on. That's what Annabella's talking about. She said, but she was lucky enough to have a hot seat and get some coaching with me during our weekly coaching session last night, and it was amazing. I was in freeze mode, not wanting to be seen, and Jess really helped me see why I was feeling that way and how I could overcome it. Jess's program, Worth to Wealth, is incredible value, so much content, so much support, amazing. Oh, thank you, Annabella. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy to hear that you overcame that last night. I mean, you were really vulnerable. So talking about going back to vulnerability, you led with your vulnerability, saying, I'm feeling stuck, I'm feeling nervous and down, and I need help. And as soon as you did that, you were able to come forward and get that help. And we were able to pull back the layers around where this was truly coming from. And that's part of it. Like, that's why I created Worth to Wealth, because it's not just about the outer game. Your inner game matters. You could be having the best month of your life, but then something could trigger you, something from your past that you don't even really know what it is. But when you get that trigger and you don't have the support to help you put it aside, see it for what it is, and then pick yourself up and keep moving, then you allow yourself to succumb to the fear. You allow yourself to succumb to the doubt. You allow yourself to be overtaken by those self-sabotaging behaviors that continue to hold you back again and again and again. And it's the worst feeling ever. Are you with me? Has that happened to you? Have you sabotaged yourself? Have you had all the tools and tactics available to you, but then for some reason you just still can't do it? If that's you, give me some hearts, give me some likes, give me some thumbs up, because I know that that's been my case. I have spent a lot of money on programs and going to events and doing all kinds of things, even hiring consultants to tell me what to do. And then as soon as they tell me what to do, for some reason, I still don't fucking do it. Why? Why does that happen? Why is it that someone can tell you exactly what to do to come over your fear of being seen, or they can tell you exactly how to do a Facebook Live, but then you never press the button? It's because you have these big subconscious beliefs that are holding you back. So in Word to Wealth, we rip those out. We get them out of your space. We heal the pain that you've been carrying with you for all of that time so that you can actually move forward and take action to get more clients and to make money. It's called Worth to Wealth. We don't shy around the topic of money in this group. This is what we're all about. That's why you're here. You don't want to build a business just for the fun of it. You need to make money. We all need to make money. Annabella says, as soon as I shared how I was feeling, I felt so much better. I felt ashamed to admit I was struggling, but with just the support, I could get through it. And the sisterhood in the group is incredible. Annabella, thank you so much for sharing this so openly with everybody now and for speaking up about it. That really means a lot to me. And you're amazing. The sisterhood is another big part of it too. It's so important to have other women around you who are feeling the same things, doing the same things, encouraging you, seeing you, calling you out on your bullshit, because, oh my God, we're bullshitting ourselves for sure, right? So we're definitely bullshitting other people. And if you don't have somebody who can sit there across the table from you and say, girlfriend, no, you are undercutting yourself in your rates. No, you could totally offer that service or that product. You're qualified to do that. Don't let yourself, buy into this bullshit story that nobody would buy it because you're not good enough. So the experience that we have together as a community, as a group, as a tribe in Worth to Wealth is one of sisterhood, of support, and then an experience of moving through the blocks, really honestly letting them go and getting past that fear so that you can take massive action in your business. So right now, we've officially reopened enrollment. This is the coming out. This is my announcement of the reopening of enrollment for Worth to Wealth. And I'm offering phone calls. That's it. It's a very simple step. If you feel at all curious, if you want help building your business, if you're ready to stop feeling afraid, if you're looking for the exact strategies and tactics that you need in order to guarantee that you create a solid foundation that will get clients, if you want to stop sabotaging yourself, if you're looking for a tribe of people so that you don't have to feel so isolated and alone in the experience of creating your business, then Worth to Wealth may be the right thing for you. And if you do feel curious about it, I invite you just to set up a phone call with me. It's very simple. I'm going to put a link here at the end of our call to my website where you can learn more about the program, watch a little video that I've created, and then schedule a call with me. And that call will be about 45 minutes long. And in that conversation, we're going to talk about what's going on. Where are you in your business? What do you want to create? Where do you want to go? What's keeping you stuck? What kind of support are you looking for? And then if Worth to Wealth seems to be a good fit and align with you, then we'll talk about the experience and you can decide if you want to take the next step. But the intention of that time is to help you gain clarity. At the very least, at the end of the conversation, you will know exactly what it is that you need in order to do to get the support that you want, the pieces in your business that aren't working and that need to be shifted. And that in and of itself is incredibly valuable because sometimes we think that one thing is the problem, but it's actually something else. So I'm going to help you get clear on what's really going on so that you can create the path that's truly effective. Because if you're branching out based on a symptom and not the root cause, then you're going to continue to chase your tail in your business. But I want you to find solutions that are aligned to the ultimate problem, not to the presenting symptom that's kind of floating around on the top. So that's the intention of that time together, for us to really sit together and learn what's going on and what you need in order to get where you want to be. And at the very least, you and I get to know each other better. And that's always cool, because I love having conversations with the women in our tribe. So Work to Wealth, the next round, the next group starts on April 11th. So we've only got a couple of weeks and spots are already filling up. So I would love to have a conversation with you if you feel called or curious to learn more about the experience. So give me some hearts, give me some likes and thumbs up if you're feeling curious and you're like, hey, that could be like something maybe that could help me. I would love to check that out. Let me know if you're resonating with the energy of what Work to Wealth is all about, and if you feel like it's something that could benefit you. Here is the link. I just put the link in the chat. Yay, I'm seeing some hearts go by. Awesome. Yes, so I would love to talk to you if you're one of those people that's resonating. So go ahead now and click that link that I just put in the site, and you go to justgeist.com, and that will automatically take you to the page for Work to Wealth for you to learn more about the experience and to apply, and really just have a conversation with me so we can find out what you need and whether or not this is the right thing for you. And I have a challenge for those of you who are watching today, because why not? If you're watching and you have a fear of being seen, then my invitation to you is to do a Facebook Live. I don't care if it's about your favorite food or what you had for breakfast this morning, or if you're doing a video with your dog playing outside, or if you're talking about your business. The intention of that challenge is to get you out of your comfort zone and to get you into the experience of being seen. I would love, love, love to see you take this challenge on, because I promise you that if you take it on, you will come out of it being like, hey girl, I'm a badass. Look what I did. I got online and I did this thing, and woof, I know what I'm doing. I'm so good. I can get on camera whenever I want. This isn't so scary. Every one of my clients, anyone who's done the Yes Games, who actually steps up and says yes to this challenge of doing a Facebook Live, all of them end up doing Facebook Live regularly in their business. All of them have said that they've gotten clients. All of them have said that it's resulted in some sort of referral or speaking opportunity. It will work for you. So if you want to overcome this fear, go do a Facebook Live, 2 minutes long. Do it today. Don't wait. I don't care if it's 10 o'clock at night where you are right now. Don't say, well, I'll wait and do it in the morning. That's another bullshit excuse. You're procrastinating. Go do it now. Because if you do it now, then you'll show yourself that you're someone who has the character of action. You'll be in integrity with your desire. So go do a Facebook Live. And then I'd love for you to share the link to your live back here in the comments so that we can watch it. Let us see you. I want to see you. You're in this space. So share your live. You can do it in your personal page. It doesn't matter at all. So I'm sending you guys so much love, and I'm sending you positive energy as you choose to step out there and allow yourself to be seen. Do the small things first. Start with your friends. Start with your family. Do a Facebook Live that's just a couple of minutes. Do a talk that's small and local, and lead with vulnerability. Allow your vulnerability to be seen. Don't try to be perfect. Tell people that you're nervous. Tell people this is your first time. And when you do that, then everything can be real and authentic. And then you don't feel like you have to fake it or be like something that you're not. Because whoever you are, however you are, it's enough. You are enough. And I so look forward to talking to those of you who are curious to learn more about Work to Wealth, who feel resonant with the program and would like an opportunity to help you move through the fear that's holding you back and take action in your business to get more clients. So if that's you, please click on the link here and feel free to share it with somebody else in your life that you think might resonate with this, might need this kind of support in their own business. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really love you all. And I will see you next week for the next Real Talk on overcoming fear. Bye.